Yes, peace and blessings, royal family. I got this little earpiece, so hopefully y'all can hear me now without the wind. So we're gonna talk real quick. I just want to say, a few minutes ago, I came out here without the smile. I was smiling, I was happy, and that's because of what we're gonna discuss. I wanted to speak on what happens to me when I get around certain people. Well, so far it's been just about everybody. And my ears get clogged up like when you go high up in an airplane. And that's pressure, obviously, some type of pressure going on. And that's what I'm going through. Like every time I get around certain lower vibrating type of people, it's like my heart start going boo boo, boo boo, boo boo. And my ears clogged up like I can't hear externally too much, but internalized like if I got a cave in my head. And then my abdomen area it start hurting. I get this pain, a sharp pain, if I continue staying there listening. So when I go now, take myself away, my ears is all clogged up. I gotta hold my nose and blow out to try to pop them. It's very seldom that it works. It only works sometimes or for temporary before I go back to that state. And I don't feel good. It comes with those little pressures you feel. My abdomen feel like if you was having sex for a long time, for men, and we get that side pain, I get that. And I done took it to the extreme where you listening to somebody for a long time, and you want to tell them either shut the fuck up or just, stop, go. And what wound up happening is that pain in my abdomen started becoming like two spiraling energies focused in one spot, like if it was particularly on my intestine. And it was very uncomfortable for a while that I couldn't, stand up straight. I had to stay bent over. All this, since I got here, I've been feeling these weird things. It's been 3 years since I came to this understanding and awakening that it somehow had to do with this energy exchange and the magnetic fields. So what wound up helping me when I just went upstairs just now, believe it or not, is what we're going to discuss and keeping on my ascension and the levels that I'm going through. Speaking of my ascension, I told you that I completed my ascension, and I did of one level. It's not over. It's like a video game. This just started another level of ascension for me that is the subject matter that we're going to be talking about. But I just wanted to bring that quick point to you real quick with the energies. I feel like the dude in the movie Wanted, when, everything slow down for him and his pressure go up and you hear your heartbeat. That's real. They didn't make that up. That's how you feel. And everything is like happening in slow motion. You hear your body looking around like, what is this? It just feels weird. And when you go up or leave, you get a really low energy that you need some rest, you need some sleep, or you have to put some substance in your body from this. So to summarize, it's like you're an empath that is very sensitive to energy, and you have to isolate yourself. And most of us live like this. You wouldn't know what I'm talking about until you isolate yourself to say, hold on, let me see what he's talking about. Then after 3 days or whatever, you come back out, you feel it. You feel every interaction you interact with, every word, every emotion, every thought form, you will see and feel these things. I wouldn't go all the way with seeing, but you can feel more. Seeing is more of a journey. So anyways, when these feelings come over me, I have to go into meditation to get myself to align and feel better. And once I do that, it's like after about 20 minutes of meditation, the pressures start to go away. I can't meditate, or I stopped meditating for the past week, 2 weeks, to be honest. And that's what this subject matter is about too again. This subject matter is about God of the White, the Obitala, or how most people say it, Obatala. I don't like Obatala because Obatala is fake, like Obia. You see, it's the original name for God, our Father. This is what this is about. I'm not straying off of this because this is the journey for ascension. which a lot of people just want powers, want abilities, want to be a teacher without actually ascending. They don't even believe in God. And how you don't know yourself? You're an angelic being that's comprised of like 1,000,000,000,000 spirits to make you calcify into a salt crystal, or what we call calcite. And this is what this is about. Calcite is light, sunlight. Your father is the sun. This now is because of the Bible. The Bible is not what you think. When we say Bible, what are we saying? We're just saying book. That's it. Bible is Greek for book. The original word was biblios. Cut bibli and you got Bible. So we're saying book. The first word in the Bible is holy. When you're saying holy, there's no such word as holy, just like there's no such word as book. We're talking an original language that everybody in the world came from the East. When they found the Western world where they put the New World, that's when English is invented and they translated. Even in Europe, if you want to go there where English originated from and all that, before they learned how to speak English, they had to learn what was in the East. Their form of what we call English is when they established the Anglo-Saxons. And they're the one who gave us our Phoenician alphabets and decided to construct a religion, all this stuff. So you got to understand, everything is not facts. It's just your actuality, but it's not your reality unless you buy into it. So on that note now, like I was saying now, you have the God of the white and you have the God of the black. These is real spirits. These is really a part of you. This is who you are. And if you don't know this, you're going to get twisted. You're going to get lost. You're going to believe in the system and all this stuff. So let me get back to the subject now. All right. To make myself feel right, I have to do the meditation. And so it was the crystals. These are some of the crystals right here. I'm going to show you. I found these crystals out here. It's my own mind. And I stared at these crystals. And these crystals actually started making me feel better. Just now when I was going upstairs to put these in my pocket to come down to show, I realized the pressure went away in my head. My ears, I could hear, like right now, they're back clogged up again because my neighbor stopped to talk to me for only 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, and that shit came right back. But it only happened with lower beings, people that take our energy. One side of my ear just popped back to normal now. You know, this is probably from a 7-minute span for this whole thing took place. So that's how long I have to go through it. If I stay to myself, I'm good, I'm fine. But the spirits that I have on me, the energy I'm wearing, it don't want to be around certain type of people. This is replicated back in the days when you had the Batu tribes, when they first encountered the Pygmy tribe. You had a difference where the Pygmies ran away from them and stood away from them, and they made a treaty that they cannot be around each other because of this energy exchange. One species was higher than the other. And then we're talking spiritual highness, not in like superior physically. You know, that don't count. So anyways, keeping on, these crystals help me. Let me see if I aim it to the light right. You know, these is actually rock crystals. So instead of me taking the crystal out and just giving you the crystal, you have to read the ancestor. This is an ancestor. This is a being. You can see the images on here. It's a story he's telling you right here. You see him? These is all beings. And so you look at these now, pure as they are. This is what actually cures you, help you. You can see them with the mouth open. You got to have spiritual eyes to catch what's going on. This is telling you a whole story here. But this is crystalled out. If you can see it, you know, it's not nothing to play with. This is how you're supposed to receive your crystals and your rocks. Don't get them cut. If you got them cut, that changed the vibratory frequency of the rock. These are set for spirits to show themselves. As you look how it lights up, and each one is a dimension of spirits that's communicating with you. But if you get the rocks that's cut, first you change the vibratory frequency of it. It's like changing your radio station to an unknown station. And then when you put the polish over it, you know, they square and polish, that kills the magnetic field of it. It has a false magnetic field now, so it don't work. Crystals that's polished cut, it don't work. It's in your mind you think it worked. You stare at these crystals right here, shit gonna happen for you. You're gonna feel weird feelings. You're gonna astral project. You're gonna leave your body because this is set to you, this being right here. This will be the side face. You wanna see the gods? Look at the side face. It's the same side face you would see in the cloud right here. It's the same ones in these rocks. This is it right here. I'm showing you the gods. Captured them for you. What we're looking at right now is called calcite. Calcite is actually peach color or red color, because what is calcite? Calcite is the sun. All it is the sun calcified. Back in the days of the Greeks and the Romans, they called this Sol. Sol was called calcite, and it's available in abundance. And that's another thing you have to understand. When something here is available in abundance, it's to help you. You understand? We took crystals, and how Europeans wind up doing it to trick everybody is to take the one that is least in abundance and make it have value to it. Says valuable because it's rare. But just like, look at all the poisonous animals in the jungle. They have different colors that show that they're poison, and there's very few of them. So those things is the shit you throw away. But the things that's in abundance, like your fruits, your vegetables, those is here to help you. So calcite is here to help you. That's why it's so much in abundance, because it's calcified sunlight. This is called soul. This is what your bones is. Your bones is calcium. The first thing you did when you came out the water is you didn't make it. You fell on the floor, your bones, and that became the shells and all the calcification that eventually coral goes over it, and they lay down the coral, which becomes flesh, skin. So you get your colors of your crystals now, your agates, your chedoniodins, whatever the words is, and so forth, because of the foundation of what type of minerals rendered from coral reefs. The corals now is spirits. They're not what you think you are. This is you in your primordial state in water, as the water elementals or the spirits of the water that I show in my pictures on my Facebook. And then you come into coral, you start manifesting in the coral, and then from the coral you grow to the calcium. From the calcium you grow to become crystals. From the crystals you become flesh, being, because the crystal now give off an electromagnetic field. It gives off electricity and magnetism, which make you a spirit. The spirit is connected to the earth and give you the ability to do everything because of the crystals. That's why the pyramids had the great big capstone crystals. That's why the spirits say the crystal, all the capstones is gone now off the pyramids. And the reason they're all gone is because of the simple fact is, those is what actually gave us the ability to astral project, leave our body, to take away the magnetic field from an object such as a rock and make it levitate no matter the weight of it. They do that with their mind, with their eyes, because you're living in the mind. It's just you're living in a lower part of it. The lowest part of it is unconscious. You're here only because you're unconscious. If you was conscious, you wouldn't be here. And as you awaken to become conscious, you're going to start leaving here. Even though your physical body's here, your consciousness is going to be in other places. That's a fact. So when you're sleeping and you're unconscious, you think you're doing conscious things. But this world is designed for unconscious. Your unconscious mind or your subconscious mind works with just images. So being that it works with just images, only thing you can respond to is pictures, advertisement, logos. You respond to that, but you think you're responding to words, books, and all that. You can't understand it. You're sleeping. You have to awake first to understand words. You have to read so you can understand what's going on. But as long as it's pictures, they're not talking to your conscious mind. They're fucking you up with unconscious things to your subconscious mind. You really hear, like I said, unconsciously. So by them keep on telling you what to do, everything become real for you, that you've been seeing a picture. When pictures was invented, it was invented for retarded people, for people who didn't know anything. They would never have put a picture up. It was a downright disrespect to make an image of a god or anything. That would have been the first type of literature written. It was about books about God. The only thing we knew was God and spirits. That's why you have sacred writings as the oldest writings. Egyptian writings, God. Now, once we started leaving all of that, that's when everything changes. You understand what I'm saying? These scriptures actually is what a lot of people, when they first was written, used to just dip them in water, those holy scriptures, and drink it and had magical powers. They used to drink writings. You could, whatever you wrote, as long as it was written, it actually had a spiritual energy to it that it did something. So they was seeking out all the ancient, I know the wind is probably making noise still in this piece. Can't avoid the wind. Let me see if I can go someplace where it's not too windy. So they was drinking the actual ink from whatever is on the paper by soaking the paper in some type of water or alcohol thing, and some people was even selling it as, like, you know, healing potions and all that shit. That's what healing potions was back in the times of the gypsies and the medieval people. They were soaking actual sacred scriptures. And a lot of the sacred scriptures started coming back up and being reinterpreted by them. They're the interpreters of most of the sacred scriptures. All right, so on that note, let me get back to Helios Biblios. Now, like I was saying, Helios is the word holy. Holy is actually just an English word. There is no such English word as actually holy. It's an imagination. It's not real if you don't understand what that means. So it only exists as Helios. And that's where you will see, if you go on Google and look up Helios and type in Helios or holy, they're the same word. So what is Helios? Helios is the sun. So if now Helios or holy is sun, and Biblios just mean book, it always is going to stand for that only, sun book. But when we got to the Western world, we interpret that whole thing as actually a spiritual book to some God. No, your God is the sun. He's a living being. He is God. After he done created everything, he trapped himself in the only source of giving you life, which is the sun. When you're dead, like I said, you're unconsciously here. You don't know that. You see it as light. You believe what citizens believe because the government told you that. You was government educated. You don't know nothing because you never sat and thought for yourself. So until you sit and think for yourself, the law of particles come into this, where when you pay attention to subatomic particles, they form, and when you don't look at them, they drop. So everybody have their own signature for subatomic particles to show you what you have to do here and what has to be done. But you have to do your own observation. That's the law of observation. So until you do that, you're going to keep on being the one that just follows and believes, but you're unconscious. You're not conscious of what you're doing. And being unconscious means the spirits run you, the lower beings run you, the stars run you, the moon run you, you're emotional. You're not in yourself. Okay, so once we learn what Helios Biblios means, what's the importance of Helios Biblios? Yo, the sun is your father. Every ancient society knew this. Look at it. That's who it is. That the Egyptians is holding their hands up to the sun. It's not what you think. And in the sun, every particle, every ray of light is one of these entities, a demion, or what we call a chakra today. Back in the days, they call it one ray of light, the 7 ray of light. You ever hear that? That's Rosicrucian science. So Rosicrucian, when they say 7 rays, they mean the 7 chakras. Just like in the Bible, when they say the 7 churches, they mean the 7 chakras. And each of the names that they give will represent the Devi. Each Devi, that their attributes, what that each attribute of them are. So they're telling you the whole chakra system to get to the dragon, to get to the virgin, to get to God. But this God is God of the white, Obitala. You understand? Now back to the OB. Let's get that out the way. I was telling you about OB is the original name and OD. These now represent the caduceus, the 2 symbols of the snake on the caduceus. The symbols represent actually your nadis and your body. You have 2 energies flowing down your spine of the kundalini that in the medieval time, they wound up changing it to Hermes, Mercurius, and the caduceus. No, before that, it was always first in West Africa under the OD and OB. And that was the original name of Osiris and Isis, or Ida and Pingala. You understand? The same energy that everything ride under, as what we call Shakti, was called Sakmet in Egypt, the lion, still tribe of Judah, always existed, still exists today. The whole Orisha system is the same as the Christian Michael, Gabriel, Sariel. It's the same thing. You could use Olga and Yemaya. It's the same thing. It's no difference. Every system was in different culture of the one sun God, your father. And don't think the sun is a sun. That's what I'm here to tell you. It's the light that teach me everything. They're all in the light. Seek the light. That's why I sent you the sun stair to waken you up to your father. Only your spirit could see him. That's why it says in the Bible, God created man, the soul. He did not create the body. Your mother did that. Flesh, matter. Once you're subject to the flesh and matter, that goes on a different journey spiritually, because it's made up out of what? Minerals. The same mineral kingdom that I'm about to build on in the little bit of this video and the next video. So everything is about minerals for the body. We're still, from what I told you during my ascension, we're in the last part, which is I'm in the beast. The beast is the physical part of everything, the material side. So the material deals with the flesh. The flesh first stop is the mineral kingdom. The mineral kingdom is what renders from your fingernails to your teeth to the bones. When you calcify, you don't calcify back into dirt, rock. You calcify back into this whole form with cheekbone, like the crystal skulls. But they don't tell you this because they chop it up and square it off and sell it to you. One, two, sometimes the skull and the body is so big, they don't realize what they're chopping up. They're digging it out. Let me tell you something. The islands, it's harder for people to get minerals and crystals because they didn't go through the ice age. They wasn't flooded underwater. Islands been here longer than continents. You got to understand that. These is volcanoes, ancient volcanoes that never really made it, that just calcified on the top. So every top of the volcano is a giant crystal. Islands is giant crystals. All right, so I hope you're understanding what's going on. With calcite, that's in limestone as the precursor to the body and the flesh. The bone is limestone. Calcite is calcium. All right, I hope y'all understanding how important light is and the Father. So it was only through them I was able to heal. Looking at these crystals heal my pain. It took everything away from me. Let me see, you see these crystals in it? The blinging? Let me show y'all my masterpiece right here. I'm gonna tell y'all some more too, because this is important. I'm gonna try to keep this at 30 minutes. This is my man right here, where he's at. This is, no, not this one. Hold on. Sorry, I'm sweating, it's hot. I'm getting the energy out. All right, this is what I wanna show you. This is the Black Panther mask, look at it. The mask of the Black Panther. I'm holding it up so you can see it. It's not something that's fake. Look at it. Now, not only did I make this, I discovered this out the ground, as is. Look at it. Let you see it. Observe. You see the teeth? You see the blinging on it? Look around. You see how the lights hit it? It forms spirits. It don't make little light reflection. Look how each one of the reflection form a shape. I'm gonna put it a little closer. Look how they form shapes of spirit beings. You go into different dimensions. Calcite take you into the astral world and into where you're supposed to be to visit your spirits, guided or white. You see the white all over it? As long as it's not polished, it has its full powers. I want you to just, if you stare at it, you will see faces come up in it and peoples. You see like a black man or a black head, and there are images inside of it. Look at it. Look over here. You see a lady face right here? Look. This is how we would just stare at it and they'll give us these things. But look, this right here will be priceless. A mask. like this, found out the earth, is all crystal, 100% crystal mass. Look at the image on the back. You see? This is how we roll. This is how our ancestors get their crystals. It shows you and take you and remember now. This gives you back your memory. And this is all crystal here. It's nothing. Now these is called Lord Enki crystals. These is Enki crystals because they're Obitala crystals, or what we call Obi. Back to that, because we're still talking about, I'm trying to do 360. I have more to say on Obi. With Obitala, that's the way I say it, and instead of Obatala, right? It's Obitala, just like these are called Obia. Obia crystals. Now, before we go into Obia crystals, you got to understand, here, the island that I'm on, which is Jamaica, at this present time, the government is about to make Obia the national holiday of the national religion of Jamaicans. And that's important because OB is what we're talking about, OB and OD, OB being the god of the white. Today, we used it in what we call warcraft back when the Europeans came to take over the land, and it helped us, it defended against us. But then people started doing their own personal game with it, just where witchcraft come in and all types of stuff. But it has a spiritual significance. It's the same thing as the Catholic religion. Catholic religion used the same African deities and the same Brazilian or Santeria gods and saints to do their spiritual work. And for you to have joined Catholic Church in the original days, you had to learn how to astral project first. So you was taught how to be in the Catholic Church. The same thing now, what wound up happening is, same with that guy L. Ron Hubbard. He learned it same and started teaching people how to astral project, and that's where Dianetics come from. Both of those, the original Catholic doctrines and the Dianetics original doctrine, was confiscated by the CIA, and that's when the whole program came up with the remote viewing and everything. They learned all that through those two programs that I'm putting you on to. So they discredit L. Ron Hubbard, but if you read the real research, which I do, you know what I'm saying, you get to learn that he had actually people leaving their body, and it seemed like they was in a first-person pole position game, just driving straight ahead. That I know by heart. You can't tell me that, because I astral project and I deal with those worlds. So he was taking them up into the God world, and he was learning all the sciences and all the ascensions, and they stopped him and then use it now to do remote viewing and be in our minds. They're in our heads now. Our heads is like on little screens, and our emotions is being triggered by chemicals that they use. They're not just even, I'm not saying chemicals like, you know, what you ate. No, they could actually use electromagnetic fields in the air, because the wires gave them control over your mind and body, and intensify it so that you give off a thought of being paranoid or hate or love. They could control that through these electrical wires now. You know, Tesla did that to us. But once he invented that, the Tesla coil and everything, infrared or Wi-Fi, long distance communication, that did that. Here goes another one of my crystals. I love this one. You see how it shows images in it? Look at it. I don't think this camera do anything for how reflective it is. Let me see if I hold it up, you can see the reflection. But in it, it shows its own world, its own things. Look. See the black man with the cowboy hat on right here? These is real crystals. So these is what I'm saying, like if you was to be staring at or look at, they'll actually help you more than hurt you. Let me actually show y'all some more, because I want to demonstrate what, you know, I have. I have a big collection because I have it from my old mind. Look at this one right here. This is another one. It's all glistening too. It's all crystal. It's just like the way it is. It's in this rock foundation. You see how it glistens? It has more healing powers. You know, you could look into the chakras this and calcite, what it does. This unlocks you. This is for actually when you're going for a job interview, you want it. You put this in your pocket. When you want a loved one or somebody to be protected, you give them this. You can have this in your house. It protects your house from negative energy. And as you can see, like you see the boy standing right here, and then the one sideways here and here, it projects spirits. It's real. You see the face right here. And they'll keep changing up. Every time you look away and look back, these things come alive. They play with you. These is the gods and the entities. These is the spirits that I'm about to tell you in the mineral world. If you can see the nose, the face, the eyes over here, these is the beings. Now you see the black hat man right here. It's the beings that control our body, the gods of the body that we don't know that exist. All of them is here. And once you sit and stare at this, you get it to look all spirity and they come alive. The thing with this, as much as it look chalky and it don't shine, once you wet it, it got the same look as any crystal that's polished. And you will want to just wet it and let it go to its dryness. You don't want to polish it where it has no more magnetic field. It's not protecting you. And this is like the god with the crown on his head. Let me see if you can see his crown. You see, I got them all. And look at the spirits up in here. It's the teeth. And you would say this is his face, and he got the crown on his head. This is how our ancestors saw the ancestors. You understand, the real ones that made the African masks and all that. See, he got the crown on his head, or the beings, and this will be his face or whatever. This is how it works. It also formed the number 7 in Africa too. You know, I sell all of these, and I will be doing auctions on these. I'm the originator of this. Excuse me, because it's so hot today. And I didn't bring a rag, you know. I'm the originator of them. You know, I found them, I make them. I don't put no electronic device by them. They're made in darkness at night, as you can see this being right here. Here go another one. I don't put, they're not cut with anything, as you can see how they are. I use my hands and water just to form them. Everything is made with just water. Ancient Egyptian style that I keep a secret, but it's all beings inside of it. This is totally white. The frost on it is glistening. You can't just really see it here. I don't know how I can make you get them, but you can email me. You know, I'm gonna be doing auction. I got catalogs. I got emails that I can send you with the whole catalog in it, and you can order right out the email too. So these is all God of the white. You can feel the energy of it. You see, and every crystal, to verify who is it has the horseman. You see the hat on his head? Every crystal of mine is embedded with the horseman inside the crystal. You just stare at it. You can look at these without no light. You see the horseman again right here on the side? All my crystals have the black horseman in the crystal because that represent me, and you will see a black boy in it. It's always me as the black boy, and the black horseman is my whole astral body, my astral form. The little black boy is God, but they never had a form to use, a faith. Nobody ascended up to that level to get them, but now they have a form through me. But so it's not me. I'm gonna give you an example. Everybody have the same gods, the same spirit. We all calcified by the same 1 trillion gazillion spirits. But it's which ones are you in tune to? Are you being tuned to the ones that your government tune you to? Or are you tuned into the true and living God? Look at this. You see the image in it? As little as this is, look at it. You see the man with the hat on, the cowboy? And you see the face right down here? You see how it forms another face on the side? If you don't have spiritual eyes to see, these crystals will help you see what is actually here. They form the side face right now. You see how the face, the man with the hat on it, this whole side view? This is our ancestors. This is Oduduwa. Look them up on YouTube, Google. I think it's Odedua or Due. Odudue. You can look them up. You understand? And it's a female. That will be Set in our world when he gets to Egypt later on. But as he says, I turn the crystal, it changes. The images changes. But it's images in there. This is how you're supposed to get your crystals. These is guided the white crystals. Now, I do an infusion too. I want you to realize. Like I said, I stone grind my crystals for myself from scratch. It's no electrical device around them, and I do it in the dark. And I suffer. Look at my finger nubs is gone. Where's the camera? The nubs of my finger, all of it I lost. All the meat was gone on all my fingertips grinding, if you can see it. I'm holding it in different angles so unless you can see. I lost all of this on all my nerve points. It was here too. I lost the flesh on everyone. One thing with this, I couldn't sleep. Once I found these crystals, every time I got in and tried to go to sleep, they would come and visit me. I saw these same beings. They was the one who was telling me everything. Now this is what I call a special blend that I grind myself. I made this from scratch, and the way these crystals is a blend of different crystals. If you can see the color, this is green, blue, and red, and orange, and you see the crystals. This is the dragon skull. As you can see, it's the head of a dragon facing this the mouth or whatever. See his eye right here. This is the snout. This is the head of the dragon right here. And if you look at it up close, what you're looking at is a different type of crystal that I made myself by blending different forms of crystal. The colors is different. You see it sideways now, it's the mask. You see this? You see the nose right here? These is the beings you have to face. These is what's called the gods. Nobody has shown the gods since the Egyptians, but now they're back and I'm showing them. You see the god right here? This is a god right here. Everything on my things is alive. And this is 100% frosted up icy crystal all the way through it. All the way. It's a solid piece of crystal. But the way I blended, I took the agate and I took some calcite and another one, quartz, and I will grind them stone way, and then they'll come out to this now, this new piece. And I can make it shine and polish on order. If you wanted it just polished, I told you the significance of not polishing it because it's spiritual. All you do is wet it and it looks polished and you could do whatever you want. But in its dry state, it's just the most beautifulest rock you ever see up close, because I'm going as close as I can to the camera and you see what you're looking at from up close. You see how it glistens? This is what you want when you're staring. And you get this at night. You don't get this just in the day in the light. You don't have to do that. So you see the whole rock itself is geared and handmade by me to do something. You understand? You see beings all in it. You see this one, the nigga on the side right here with the hat on? That's him right here. Look like he's driving a car or something. This is how they work. You see him right here? That's how these work. This is how my crystals are. So if you're interested, you can email me. But this brought us to the God of the White, and we know what the God of the White is. God of the White actually is not some racist thing about a spirit. The dove is the God of the White. If you can see the green, orange, and the different colors in it right now, this is a tutti frutti joint, yo. Shit is hot. Trust me, ain't nobody got this. Nobody. So that's what make my things exclusive. And I'm telling you, these are relics, artifacts. They're going to be worth more money in the future as time go on. This is not something that you just buy and that's it. No, you hold them and store them and hide them. Lord Enki is the one who found them and make them. They're rare. It comes from an original mine nobody ever touched before. So what you have, nobody have. Yo, take my crystals, and I'm telling you straight up and down, put them next to an EMF app. Any EMF app. And that thing is going to be like, move it away. It's going to be a, put it back by my crystal. Tell you my crystals is alive. So this now is going to bring us to part 2 that this is long enough now. I can't even get into God of the White. So I'm going to stop this so we can learn some more. Come to the next video. It's time for God of the White. Here we go.